Welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled to have you here today. We are putting a seriously talked about device under the microscope, the Samsung Galaxy A37 5G. Now, this phone has been making huge waves lately. People are buzzing because it packs what really feel like top-tier, premium features into a package that, well, doesn't completely empty your wallet. We're going to strip away all that marketing fluff and just look at the raw facts, the specs, the features, and most importantly, the real user data to figure out exactly what this phone actually brings to the table. Let's get into it. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start by meeting the Galaxy A37 5G, explore its cameras and AI magic, look at the power, display, and battery, check out how it's built to last, and wrap up with what real users are actually saying.
Section 1. Meet the Galaxy A37 5G, bridging the gap between mid-range and flagship.
So, looking at the physical aesthetic of this phone, you can immediately see how it aims for that premium vibe. It's got this super sleek design with a glossy glass finish that almost gives off a glazed ceramic look. It's definitely something you'd want to show off. And they've also added this really unique design element on the back that they're calling the ambient island. Basically, it's a translucent housing that groups the cameras together, purposely designed to catch your eye. It's a subtle touch for sure, but it really elevates the whole look.
And of course, the visual appeal doesn't stop there. Keeping it trendy, Samsung offers this device in 3 distinct colors, using their signature naming style. So you can choose from the playful, awesome lavender, the sleek, awesome charcoal, or this really modern, awesome gray-green. Moving right along to Section 2, Cameras and AI Magic. Hardware meets awesome intelligence.
Now, what's really interesting here is the versatility of the camera setup. You've got a trio of lenses on the back. The absolute star of the show is the 50-megapixel main wide-angle camera, which actually features optical image stabilization and optimized nightography. Basically, that means sharp, bright photos even if you're shooting in low light. Flanking that is an 8-megapixel ultra-wide lens, perfect for those giant landscape shots, and a 5-megapixel macro lens to capture all those intricate close-up details. Oh, and when you flip the phone around, the 12-megapixel front selfie camera definitely isn't just an afterthought. It actually supports Super HDR video for really dynamic, vibrant colors.
But look, great hardware is really only half the equation these days, right? What really makes this stand out is that Samsung brought flagship-level AI features straight down to this mid-range tier. You get Circle to Search with Google, where you can literally just draw a circle around an item, say a cool jacket you see on social media, and boom, it instantly searches for it online. You also get Object Eraser. This is a brilliant AI tool that effortlessly wipes out unwanted background clutter or those annoying photo bombers from your pictures. And then there's Edit Suggestion, which intelligently analyzes your photos and automatically recommends tweaks, like adding a background blur or pulling out weird reflections. These are literally game changers designed to make your everyday experience so much smoother.
Okay, Section 3. Power, display, and battery. The engine running the everyday experience.
The powerhouse keeping this thing alive is a massive 5,000 mAh battery. To put that into perspective, according to Samsung's claims, this capacity lets the phone keep going for up to 2 days on a single charge under typical usage. 2 full days! And honestly, if you do somehow run out of juice, it supports super fast charging 2.0. That means you're looking at up to a 60% charge in just 30 minutes.
Now, powering those 2 days of battery life are some pretty notable internal upgrades. On the processing side, Samsung is boasting a 12% bump in CPU performance and a massive 19% boost in GPU performance compared to the last mile. And to make sure the phone doesn't get roasting hot during intense stuff, like heavy gaming, it's actually backed up by an advanced vapor chamber for cooling.
Let's walk through the specific numbers for the high-end model we're focusing on today. It rocks a large 6.7-inch Super AMOLED display with a buttery smooth 120 Hz refresh rate. And here's a crucial detail. That display utilizes Vision Booster technology, which basically keeps everything crisp and visible even if you're standing right out in the blinding sun. To make sure jumping between apps is seamless, this specific model packs a hefty 12 GB of high-speed LPDDR5X RAM, right alongside 256 GB of storage. So yeah, plenty of room for all your photos, apps, and the whole shebang.
Moving on to Section 4. Built to last. Durability and longevity promises.
You hear terms like this thrown around in smartphone marketing all the time, so let's just demystify the jargon for a second. The A37 5G comes with an IP68 rating. In the real world, that means it has incredibly robust protection against dirt, and it can survive being submerged in 1.5 meters of fresh water for up to 30 minutes. So, an accidental drop in the kitchen sink, not going to ruin your day. Plus, both the front and back are protected by Corning Gorilla Glass Victus Plus, giving you way better durability and scratch resistance compared to standard glass.
And this brilliantly illustrates one of the absolute best things about this device, the software longevity. Launching in March 2026, Samsung is promising support for up to 6 major operating system version upgrades. 6! And beyond even that, they are guaranteeing security maintenance releases all the way out to March 2032. Honestly, for a mid-range phone, getting a solid 6 years of software support is a massive, massive standout feature.
But look, holding onto a phone for 6 years means you absolutely need it to stay secure. That's exactly where Samsung Knox Vault comes into play. This is an EL5 Plus certified, hardware-level security feature. Basically, it physically isolates your most sensitive private data. Think passwords, private photo albums, stuff like that, protecting it from both software and hardware-level attacks. It really secures the longevity of the device by making sure your digital life stays completely locked down over those 6 years.
So we've gone over the sleek design, the very impressive spec sheet, and Samsung's bold claims about battery life and durability. But, specs on paper only tell half the story. The real, ultimate question is, does it actually live up to all this hype when it's put into the hands of real people?
Which brings us to Section 5. What real users say. The verdict from 540 customer reviews.
So the crucial point here is in the numbers. Out of 540 reviews, a staggering 436 users gave the device a perfect 5 stars, with another 90 giving it 4 stars. Down on the other end of the spectrum, we're looking at just 10 3-star, 3 2-star, and exactly 1 single 1-star review. As you can see, the overwhelming majority of the feedback is highly, highly positive.
When you compile all of those individual user ratings together, it results in a seriously impressive 4.8 out of 5 overall rating. For a mid-range device making some pretty lofty flagship promises, a 4.8 strongly indicates that for the vast majority of folks out there, it is absolutely delivering on those promises.
Let's actually hear directly from one of those happy users. A 5-star reviewer named Rampage writes, "The display is bright and smooth, the battery easily lasts all day, and the performance is fast. For the price, this device offers excellent value." That glowing quote really validates Samsung's claims, doesn't it? It proves that the Super AMOLED display and that huge 5,000 mAh battery are truly holding up beautifully in everyday, real-world use.
However, to give you the completely impartial full picture, we absolutely have to look at the flip side. The single most helpful critical review comes from user Bikanti Gopi, who gave it 1 star and stated, "Fingerprint sensor not respond proper, and touch problem." Now, while this definitely represents a tiny minority of users, it is a really important data point. It shows that at least some buyers experienced frustrating hardware issues with the fingerprint and touch sensors right out of the box.
There's also a pretty interesting reality check here regarding the phone's value over time. Check out this 3-star review from Jaya_Chauhan_00006, who notes, "I purchased this phone for $40,000. I feel quite disappointed to see the price drop significantly to $33,000 so soon." The reviewer actually mentions that the phone itself performs really well, but this highlights a genuine frustration. Sudden price fluctuations in this mid-range market can definitely leave early adopters feeling a little burned on the value proposition.
Let's move to the summary and see how this all builds together. Weighing all the evidence, here is our final takeaway on the Galaxy A37 5G. The pros are crystal clear. Backed by both the specs and the real user reviews, you get a gorgeous 120Hz display, a legitimate 2-day battery life, and incredibly useful flagship-level AI camera features. The cons, while minimal, do include some isolated reports of fingerprint lag, plus that unpredictable market pricing we just talked about. The ultimate verdict? It successfully delivers those flagship features, but you just have to accept a few minor mid-range compromises along the way. Which leaves us with this final, truly provocative thought to consider. When a phone in this exact price bracket offers genuine flagship AI capabilities, a premium build, and a massive 6 years of software support, are the days of feeling forced to spend well over $1,000 on a smartphone finally behind us? I highly encourage you to weigh the evidence for yourself. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. I really hope you found it illuminating, and I will catch you next time.